Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. I apologize for being late this morning, for all those who come on live. Anyways, as you can see, I am still putting myself together. Oh, this is why we don't go down the social media rabbit hole. I know, because then all the things happen. Forgive my thing. I was trying not to wear it, but my wrist is just on fire right now. I'm fine. Every so often it just happens. I don't know why, it just does. I had a former sports injury there too, and it was a one-off sports, but still sports. So we can just put it that way. I'm not sure it ever healed right, but yeah, I also, this is embarrassing. I fell out of my chair last week. I don't know what happened. I leaned over to pick something up and poof, the whole chair went out from underneath me. So anyways, we're doing Self-Care Wednesday today, but I'm going to mix it with some soul truth. So, and by that, I mean these. We're going to mix it with some soul truth. So, let's see. I know, I just got a text from poor sibling who says she can't get on, but that's because I started late. I started so late, and I can't say anything to her because, I'm on my phone. So I really got to get my shit together and get some stuff done. So yeah, we're going to do the soul truth cards, and we're going to do mindful messages for Self-Care Wednesday, because last night I said to my cousin, I said, I don't know what to do for my show tomorrow. I'm pretty sure people are sick and tired of, Self-Care Wednesday, because I'm pretty sure I've done that one till I'm blue in the face, right? And she's like, no. And I said, oh, should we do it? We'll call it Elf Care. Elf Care. So, woo. Wow. Okay. Forgive me. That one just flew out and away. Oh, there's another one. Ooh. Okay. It's kind of hard to shuffle with this thing on. But, anyway. Oh, la la. I know. I guess that's it. Alright, one more shuffle. See what happens. Oh, there we go. Oh. Two more. There we go. Alright. So, self-care. So we're going to go through the self-care. I'm going to try something different today, okay? We're going to go through the self-care, and then we're going to pull a soul truth card. And the soul truth cards, again, are the self-awareness cards. And we're going to see how we can fit self-care with one of these. All right, one of these. So, all right. Number one. Creator of happiness. The creator of happiness. I reclaim my power to create my own joy and happiness. It is not dependent on any outside source or individual. Therefore, it cannot be taken away. It can always be found within me. That is what I'm always trying to say about pouring from a full cup, is that it has to come from within you, because if you're just trying to, fill your cup by things that you do for other people, we have to remember that once we get home, once we're settled into our pajamas and sitting in front of the TV or whatever it is you do at night, or reading a book, you're coming back into your own space, and all that other stuff is just going to dissipate. It's going to go away, and then you're just kind of left with, so creator, you have to be your own creator of happiness. And there's nothing wrong excuse me, there is nothing wrong with trying to make other people happy. I love doing things that make other people happy, but I also found in my own experience that I was kind of shooting myself in the foot, because I wasn't, I was doing it to bring me joy, and it brought temporary joy. So I realized there were things that I needed to do in my life that would help me just bring joy into my life that I can keep, just even if it's just small things, or even just journaling about the day that I had to, of maybe different joy that came into my life and just managed to stay there. So remember to nurture yourself. Elf care. Okay, it's Christmas time. Elf care. Or it's the holiday season, so elf care. I wish I had an elf hat. I have one, but my damn head is too big for it. So nurture. Oh, nurture. I love how there is a couch with what looks like popcorn. I had to look because, it's okay to want to stay home and be alone. I deserve days to myself, days to relax and simply be. I honor how I feel and take this day to do the things that feel nurturing to me. Apparently I cannot read today. Or all week, right? Yeah, I literally just kind of talked about that with the creator of happiness. So that seems to be the card, right? Creator of happiness. Subconscious mind. Subconscious mind. I realize that subconscious beliefs or programs may be holding me back from my desires. For example, if I want money, I may have been told things growing up that I am subconsciously holding on to. So I go back to my past and release beliefs that no longer align, substituting with ones that do. I know sometimes it's not easy. Good morning, Muddy. I just realized that I didn't answer you yet when you said morning. Good morning, Muddy. So, yeah, again, this is the one thing that I love to say a lot in the show. What you speak is what you hear. It's what your brain is going to process, and it's going to end up being what you see. So if you are constantly speaking negative or feeling negative or hearing negative, it's going to process in your mind, including your subconscious mind. And all it's going to do in your subconscious mind is say, hey, look, it's right. But it's not. We have to go back to those times when people have told us limiting beliefs. Now, I think the reason they use money here is because that seems to be the one thing that everybody is always like tripping themselves over, right? They either work really hard to get it, then they hoard it, and then somehow they lose it, or they just never enjoy themselves. Kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge, right? It's the season. He made hand over fist money, but then he just kind of hoarded it until, the three ghosts came knocking, technically four, because Jacob Marley showed up first and said, you need to be a better human. So there, I just summed up A Christmas Carol for you. Yeah. Guy has weird childhood, loses partner in business, grows, just gets miserly and more miserly, treats his staff horribly. God, this is starting to sound a little more modern day. Yeah, goes on a huge adventure after said partner's ghost comes to visit. Bada bing, bada boom. Do you want to die sad, or do you want to die with people mourning you? The end. Oh, no, he changes. The end. I know. Well, come on. If you haven't seen A Christmas Carol or heard of it by now, that's not my fault. I mean, that book is like, almost 200 years old. I mean, it was the 1840s, right? So it's like 180 something years old by now. So, and I mean, so last year, just as a side note in self-care, last year, I don't know what happened, but I got on a kick of watching. The only Christmas movies I watched were all A Christmas Carol, just all the different versions of A Christmas Carol. And that includes The Muppets, and that includes a Mickey's Christmas Carol with Scrooge McDuck. And Goofy. Goofy is Jacob Marley. I love Goofy. Goofy's my boo. All right, Goofy is my boo. Tall and adorable. That's all I need. Tall and adorable. So, I love Goofy. Since I was a kid, since I was probably about 18. I think I was about 18. It was a conscious choice, by the way, to become a Goofy fan, because everybody loved Mickey and I wanted to be different. So I chose Goofy because he's just so cute and so adorable. So anyways, that was my side note. That was a sidetrack into my life. But again, the subconscious mind, it's a big place in there. It's a big place, and it's not always the best place, because when we'll dive into trauma a little bit, right? When you've had trauma in your past, you are led to believe that you were not good enough, you were not smart enough, you were not anything enough. And, it's yeah, and you're not anything enough. And you begin to just believe that, and then it plants seeds, it builds a home, it's a big old forest of misconceptions and misinformation. So we have to go into our minds, into our past, to where we were told the wrong stuff. We were told the negative stuff. We were told the stuff that's safe to believe. Okay? And yeah. So, oh, Sammy says her favorite is Mr. Magoo's Christmas. That's one of Troy's. And the funny thing is, I could not find it last year. And I'm one of those people that I want to see it before I buy it, just in case I don't like it, right? So I never got to see it. I know, but I did watch every version. I even found a version, a silent film version. It was like 15 minutes long, I think. And I have to tell you, for the technology they did not have back then, they did a really good job. So that was pretty awesome. So yeah, I went way to the way back. So yeah. So here, I'm gonna save that one for last. Because this card, this word has been coming up all morning. That's why I ran a little late. I went down the rabbit hole of well, I saw one thing that I needed to see, and then I went down the rabbit hole. So anyways, here's one. Playful. Look, it's a merry-go-round. So I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there is so much fun to be had? Yeah. Why spend so much time upset when there's so much fun to be had? I agree. So one of the things I've been trying to do as I step into what, they call a new timeline, and you can take that any way you want, but really what it is I'm teaching myself how to move out of the safety of chaos and into the real safety of uncertainty. And that may make no sense to you, but to be, it's basically me just learning how to be present in every single moment. Instead of going too far back, too far forward, just being present here and appreciating what is right in front of me, what is, within reach, what is within the grasp of me. And so I think that's something that we can all learn. It's not easy. It's very difficult. It is hard moving away from the chaos and I wrote this earlier, and I didn't think I was going to use it on the show because I was going to use it for something different, but I wrote, it's something that I want to journal about later. Your whole identity has become what happened to us, or our whole identity has become what happened to us, and despite the danger it poses, we stay there in the chaos because it is familiar, so it feels safe. It's not safe. And that was kind of based more on the trauma stuff. And like I said, trauma can be anything. My trauma is clearly different than other people's trauma, but once we get to that healing starting line, everybody's there together. Everybody's purpose is the same, to move through all the ick to get to the other side. And it's like an obstacle course. There are those little mud things you have to crawl through. There's probably piles of shit you got to deal with, just stuff, just stuff that will try to move and get in your way to keep you from healing, because your brain is comfortable where it's at. So it's really about fighting that subconscious thought that says, no, you're safer here, when you're not happy there, when you're not safe really there, because these are thoughts that are constantly coming up and trying to tear you down. So it is scary, because for a long time a lot of us will choose this because the chaos it feels safe. So when we find reasons to be playful, when we find reasons to go out and do fun things and do things that we really want to do, and things that we, even if we're uncertain if we're going to have a good time doing them, things that are just fun. For instance, older sibling and I went to Outback one day, and I got a drink I absolutely did not like, just so I could have the little koala bear. I know. Actually, the drink sounded like it might be decent, but it didn't taste that great. But yeah, just to get the little koala. I know. Isn't he cute? So, not the drink's fault, but this was the sole purpose. You know, see, look, he's just so adorable. And he says Outback. And yes, he's more than just a Christmas decoration. We'll call him Noel. Let's call him Noel or Noel. So, anyways, last card, balance. This is what I've really been needing. Balance between the chaos and where I'm at now. See, Sammy said she would have totally gotten the drink for the koala, right? I mean, who can resist it? I got a drink the last time I was at Outback just for the shark. It was called, I think it was called, it was a play on Jaws. Okay, it was a play on Jaws because they give you this really pretty blue drink that looks like the ocean, and they fill it with grenadine, which is red, and you know they fill the shark with the grenadine. Then you pour it in, and it just looks like Jaws attacks somebody. So, anyways, I bought. Okay, full disclosure, I have to tell you this because this is playful stuff, right? I bought this thing for my dad. So my dad really loved the shark. You know, he thought it was hilarious. Well, at first he thought I was being ridiculous because, you know, I'm just a big kid. And, but he thought it was funny after a while because I said, wouldn't that be hilarious if it had a leg? So, you know, like a leg sticking out. I know, so bad, right? We're a morbid group here. But, I found a little tiny doll. It was a zombie doll, but I found a doll. And I jerry-rigged it so that when you pull it, you know, if you wanted to hang it, if you pulled it, the leg would go in and out. So anyways, well, my dad put the leg back on the thing and just stuck the whole guy in there. So, I don't know. So now you can see these legs sticking out. But, well, we watch a lot of horror movies here. So anyways, not that I think Jaws is a horror movie. That feels more like a cautionary tale, right? You know, I mean, how many people have never gone into the ocean again because of that movie? Oh God, a sibling told me the funniest story about this guy she took out fishing that she knew, and he's a cousin to someone famous, but yeah, he was terrified of going out on this boat because of Jaws. And, you know, and me, it's like, well, it's probably worse ways to go. But, yeah, I would probably have a heart attack before it even ate me. So, although I did promise Sissy Joe before she died that we would find a place and we would go into a cage, a shark cage. And I feel like I still, even though she's gone, need to live up to that promise. So we'll see. But anyways, balance. I surround myself with people I love and enjoy my time with them, but I also take time to nurture my relationship with myself. I have found a healthy balance between being with friends and having self-care time. Now, the balance I'm looking for is the balance between, it's really just the balance now. It has nothing to do with my past. It has nothing to do with the healing part of my past. It has everything to do now with finding this safe, this new safety in the uncertainty. And the only way I can do that is to find that balance. And I'm beginning that, as I mentioned, with trying to keep myself in the present moment. Because again, the subconscious mind can play tricks on us and try to drag us back into, you know, the depths where we don't want to be. So now let's get to the second part. We've done the self-care. Now let's see how we can fit them into the soul truth. All right, let's see. Oh, am I clear on what my soul really... Okay, so... All right, Sammy, I know you're on. One or two? Just pick one or two. Oh, good morning, older sibling. Oh yeah, older sibling reminded me. I used to catch sharks all the time. But she said that was because she said that's because, thank you, Sammy. She said that's because I would literally let my line drag. I enjoyed fishing, but I just enjoyed being on the boat more. You know, but the first time I caught a sand shark, totally freaked out. It was about 2.5 feet long. I guess that's about, well, maybe only 2 feet long. Um, to they're all like, where'd she go? Because I told older sibling, I said, you better take this pole or it's going over the side because she saw you caught a shark. And so, of course, this is where we're going to put in the subconscious mind. So I can see that this shark is not that big, but in my mind, I just caught Jaws, right? I just caught a great white, even though this shark was like 2 feet long and it was a sand shark. And even if it bit, it probably would have hurt, but not killed me. So, you know, and I was wearing open-toed shoes. But in my defense, even though she told me to wear tennis shoes, heat does not do well with me. And we all know that heat escapes through our feet and through our head. And so I was just worried about getting sick, because if I overheat, I get sick. So this is why England would be a good place for me, because I don't think there's a danger of overheating there. But Antarctica, just go live on the South Pole. But I was nervous about that. So I did wear shoes, tennis shoes, the next time, and I just decided to, and I found a hat that breathed, so all was good. Stay hydrated. But yeah, my subconscious mind immediately made it, you know, bigger than it was, and I did have to help. So one of the things that I admit was really, really hard is they were able to get the hook out of its mouth, okay? Which, you know, I mean, I admit I enjoy fishing, but it also hurts me, because it's like I'm sitting there baiting a fish, so I'm poking this needle through its face and sending it out into the ocean to be eaten by something. And it just, I know it's a circle of life, but I feel like I don't need to add to it, you know? But on the flip side, it was a very peaceful day out. It was lovely. I love being on the water. I love being on the ocean. The next time we went out, I caught a 5-foot guitar shark. And I feel bad because that baby now has a lip ring forever. I know. Sorry. I told Laura's dad, I said, oh, are we going to pull the hook out of this one? No, we're going to cut the line. So, zip. And the third time I caught a jellyfish. I know. And hopefully the jellyfish recovered, you know, so I'm probably on the hit list of all the sharks and the jellyfish. So I stay in the shallow now when I go in the ocean. So anyway, card number 1 for the soul truth. Ooh, this is perfect. Sammy, you are a rock star. Do I know all my strengths and am I using them? Do I know all my strengths and am I using them? That's perfect for all these cards. Creator of happiness, nurture, subconscious mind, playful, balance. Perfect. Perfect. We're going to work all those in. So again, do I know all my strengths and am I using them? So the back of the card says, we all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in our zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. Today's soul action, which is also self-care, by the way, ask yourself, how can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? Yeah, what are your gifts? Are you standing in your own way? Are you standing in your own way? Are you not using all your superpowers because you've been told, oh, please, you don't have these things. You can't do that. Nobody can do that. And by that, I mean, there are people out there who have genuine gifts. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, none of these are superpowers. I'm just saying they have gifts that not everybody has, or not everybody has, in full-blown power, but then they're told, yeah, sure, whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah. On the flip side, there are those of us who, you know, we have these superpowers, right? Every single person has this superpower of being able to create whatever it is that you want to create, but we don't. And why? Because our subconscious mind is constantly getting in the way. It's constantly remembering everything everyone ever said to us that said, no, you can't. No, that's not real. No, that's not possible. No, you can't do that. No, you have to work hard for everything you want. Basically, you have to scrape your nails against the sidewalk if you ever want to get anywhere in life. You have to bang your head against 5 concrete walls if you ever want to move forward. You have to, you know, throw yourself onto the floor and be dramatic and play Elvis music because, you know, all the sad Elvis music because, you know, you are just not capable. Bullshit. You are capable of anything you want to be capable of. And even if it doesn't work out, it might lead you to what is meant for you. but too many times we get stuck in our subconscious mind. So when we get stuck in our subconscious mind and we forget all these beautiful superpowers that we have, find time to be playful. Go do something you want to do, whether it's fishing, whether it's, playing a game, whether it's writing in your journal to get all this icky stuff out of your head that people have planted in there over the years. And a lot of times I think the reason people planted it isn't meant to be mean. It's what they've learned. And the people before them learned, and the people before them learned. So you are literally being conditioned to continue this generational cycle that needs to be broken. Follow your heart, follow your dreams. For a lot of people, I know it's scary. Laura says her superpower is communicating with animals. I truly believe that. She's very good with animals. Okay, so the reason I said Elvis music is because the first person that came into my head when I said throw yourself on the floor was Lilo from Lilo and Stitch. And there's a scene at the beginning of the movie where she's just being super dramatic, playing music, just going, no, leave me alone, I'm gonna die. I just want to die. Just being super dramatic. In fact, even though it took me years and years and years to see that, a lot of people, unbeknownst to me, of why, used to say, you're just like Lilo when you get dramatic. Now I know why. But I wouldn't listen to Elvis music. My mother loved Elvis and it was a bit too much. So, anyway. Not that Elvis is bad. I mean, but still. All right. So, as we talk about this and your superpowers, we have to figure out how to get out of this subconscious mind. Okay, so now this is going to be the card we focus on. How do we get from killing the negative stuff and healing it? I should say healing the negative stuff in our subconscious mind to rewire our brains to balance. And it's everything in between. You have to be the creator of your happiness. And by doing that, you find ways to nurture yourself and find time to be playful, to have playtime, to be fun, to just get yourself out there and do things that you love. Not things that are starting to feel routine, but things that you may not normally do. I know for my birthday is coming up next month, and my cousin asked me, what are you going to do? And, I was like, oh, I'm going to the Comic-Con Museum because they have a Doctor Who exhibit there, and it's only there until March. And it's like, I've been dying to go, but I thought I want to save it for a special occasion. Now, I probably didn't need to save it for a special occasion, but I thought, what the hell? Because I kept putting it off. That's what I'm going to do. But, it's for me something being playful because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's interactive. I don't know if it's not interactive. I don't know if I'll be able to stand inside of a fake TARDIS and go, woo, look at me. But I already have my outfit planned. That's right. It's the Doctor Who dress. And it's just about being playful, whether, again, or not even again, but for example, even if it is with our clothes, right? I mean, my outfit will be my Doctor Who dress with the Peter Pan collar, pair of tights, and my purple Doc Martens. And to me, that's not anything more than just who I am. But it brings me joy. And it's, to other people it's whimsical, to other people it's playful, to other people it's like, what was she thinking? But I don't care. And that was one of the things I had to beat in my subconscious mind, was worrying about what other people think about me. And I think that's what holds a lot of us back. But also, there's these things that we sit inside of the pain, and we sit inside, adjacent to our superpowers, not realizing what we do for everybody else, because it just feels natural, right? It's where, we feel like we're creating our happiness. But again, when that's done and you're in your head again, you need to find ways to be the creator of your happiness. That's how you become, not just adjacent to your superpowers, but become one with it. You become one with it when you start believing, when you start retraining and resetting your subconscious mind into believing that you are capable of anything that you want to do. And like I said, it's not always going to work out. It may work out for you the first time. And if that does, that's great because you truly, truly believed it. But if it doesn't, it means it might be pointing you in another direction. And we always have to stay open. Instead of saying, oh crap, I failed, say, you know what? Okay, this didn't feel right. So where is it leading me? There was a great story. I cannot remember the name for the life of me, but, I'm trying to figure out, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Basically, she created a material. She worked for DuPont. She created a material and they're like, nope, that's not what we were going for. And they kind of dismissed this idea, but she kept working on it because she thought this can be useful for something. Turns out she invented the Kevlar vest, which is a bulletproof vest. And it's a little more effective than the old ones, which were probably just sand and metal. I don't know. It's a little bit lighter and it's a little bit more effective. And, she created this. And it's kind of like, wow. So one thing that she was trying to go for didn't work out, but the next thing did, because she didn't let her subconscious mind stop her. She didn't let the outward voices say, no, that's not what we're looking for. She's going to maybe it's not, but this is going to do something for somebody else. So, and then as we're working through our subconscious mind to heal all these things, to heal all this conditioning, to heal all this generational ick that has been passed down, and it's not intentional. We can't always blame our past. Sometimes when people are conditioned, they just teach what they know. And when they have bad things happen to them, they're trying to figure out their own balance, and maybe somehow that awkward balance accidentally transfers on to the next generation. So, it's up to us to figure out how to heal it in peace. That doesn't mean you're not going to get angry. That doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. That doesn't mean there may not be tears. Okay, I'm giving you the Cliff Note version of my healing process, because there was everything. There was standing on the edge and having to make promises that I didn't want to make because I almost didn't make it through my journey. So, that's why we have to nurture ourselves. This is where self-care comes in, or elf care. This is where self-care comes in. We have to nurture ourselves. We have to remind ourselves that we are capable of anything. We have to remind ourselves that, we weren't just put on this earth to be content with whatever's being thrown at our faces, right? We're here to live our best life, however that looks to you. If you're happy where you're at, if you love the job you're at, even if you don't love the job you're at, but you're like, I love the people, I'm happy, this is where I belong, I'm content. And if you want to be content, that's great. But don't sell yourself short. That's all I ask. Don't sell yourself short. Be the best version of you that you can be in every situation that you're in. Because that will inspire someone. That will, maybe, you're happy where you're at because you might be that parental figure, the office parental figure, right? Even if you're young, you could be the office parental figure, the guru on the mountain going, yeah, well, maybe you should just go for that. You might be the inspiration that everybody's looking to and everybody needs, because you might be the person that is the glue that holds everybody together. And you might be the person exposing their superpowers, right? So again, do I know all my strengths and am I using them? I can honestly tell you I am not. I do know my strengths. I am very wary, I guess, because I don't trust myself. I have people around me that trust what I can do. Older sibling and baby sibling have seen me in action. And they're like, yeah, you're so good at this. Why don't you do more? And it's like, oh, well, so this is why I'm trying to move into that balance. That, see, and you know what? Excuse me. That is my fear manifesting. It's trying to shut me up And you can think anything you want. You're like, yeah, you just got stuff in your throat. The physical body reacts to you. It reacts to the things that, that it needs to react to keep you safe, because that's what it's been trained to do. It's been trained to keep you safe. It's been trained to throw shit into your mind to make you go, nope. Because it's safer to sit in no rejection than to sit in some sort of rejection. Right? Thank you, Sammy. Thank you for, that's validation right there. Sammy says, I was thinking the same thing. Your throat closing up was the fear. Yeah, because every time my throat started to close up, I was talking about how I needed to heal my subconscious mind and find that balance. It was more than just that. You heard me at the beginning. You saw me at the beginning. Clear voice, clear everything. And then all of a sudden, when I started talking about what I needed to do to move forward, to try to hopefully inspire other people to do the same, even while we're talking, my throat started closing up. But let's go in the other direction. What if my throat was closing up to show me, to remind everybody that sometimes when our body, see, it's happening again, that sometimes when our body is reacting to us, it means we're probably on the right track. And I know a lot of people will sit there and go, you're full of shit. And that's fine. If you don't want to believe it, you don't have to. I'm not asking you to come on here and believe anything. I'm just asking you to come for the come for the thought, stay for the conversation, right? Come for the thought, stay for the conversation. That's what it's about. It's about, coming to hear what the thought might be and maybe planting a seed in your own head. But we owe it to ourselves to use our superpowers. So again, we all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in our zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. So today, ask yourself, how can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? Let me try that again. How can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? How can you? By owning your truth, by getting out of your subconscious mind and saying, you know what, there is generational trauma that I need to heal. By nurturing yourself, by being playful. Here's the subconscious mind going, and then creating your own happiness, creating happiness that lasts for you. And lastly, the balance. When you find this, my balance is shaky because I'm letting it be shaky, because I'm not trusting myself to fully step into this new timeline that I have created for myself. And by new timeline, I mean just this, I'm past the healing, but I've been stuck at like the train station, right? It's like the train never showed up. I've just been stuck at this, Shelley station of like, kind of like the island of misfit toys. We're all sitting there going, and then every so often a train shows up and, the person gets on their train because they figured it out. They figured it out. And that's what we need to do. And that's what I'm trying to do. And so it's not like I'm just, trying to tell you guys all this stuff. I am here with you. I understand. And, and it doesn't mean you've had to have trauma. You could just, things can happen to you in life where you just don't trust yourself. Or maybe you had the best childhood, but you might have had a person around you that struggled with some of these things. And you're like, oh, maybe it's not safe, Sometimes we have to step into the light on our own. We can't wait for that spotlight to shine on us. Sometimes we just got to do it and be brave. It can take courage for some. It can take bravery for some. Other people just walk right in like, yeah, I belong here. And then they just go on their merry lives. So, but I get it. For some of us, it's a little bit harder. So, find your superpowers, all right, and use them. Use one for good today. Go out there and be super person, super you, all right, Superman, Supergirl, superhuman, super whatever, super person. Go out there and be super person, All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. I will see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Marie Lucas. You can find me across the social media board. Everything does start on the social media board after Facebook. Everything starts on YouTube. So if feel free to click and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. You can hit the like button if you want. That's up to you. But yeah, so go out there. You've got this, okay? You have got this, and I believe in you. Have a great day. Okay, I'm trying. Have a great day.